Direct from Foxborough, Massachusetts, the gem of Norfolk County, and taped at the studios of Foxborough Cable Access. It's Foxborough Central. And here's your host, Bob Hickey.
And welcome to another fantastic episode of Foxborough Central. I am your host, Bob Hickey, thanking you for taking a little bit of time to join with me and my guests as we talk about the people, events, and organizations that make Foxborough truly the gem of Norfolk County. And speaking of our hidden gems, the one who's not so hidden because she's always out there doing something everywhere with everyone is my friend Linda Walsh. Linda, how are you doing?
Thanks for having me.
It seems like you are a regular guest. You're going to get frequent flyer miles in my chair here.
How about that?
I remember on your 20th episode, you get to be the recipient of the frequent guest award.
Wow.
I know, right?
That's special.
Well, I make a joke of it, but in seriousness, you are a person who really gives of her time and of her network of giving. And I say that because you are involved in so many different things. One of the things that you're involved with the Foxborough JCs, many, many years have gone by, and there's been the National Night Out Against Drugs, Crime, and Violence.
Yes.
And this past year, 2015, depending upon when you're watching, that event was rained out with a torrential deluge, right?
Yes. Well, we were all set up. We were very close, and then we had the little warning of a tornado possibly that might have hit down and rent them. So both the chiefs said we have to cut it. So
Roger Hatfield and Chief O'Leary, they put the kibosh on that night, but the spirit lives on and the need is still there. So taking a chapter out of do something when something happens and make it better, we are revamping this as the morning event now on Saturday, September 26th. From 10 o'clock in the morning until 2 o'clock in the afternoon at the Public Safety Building. We're going to bring our friends, we're going to bring our families, particularly the young kids, and we're going to do what?
So it's not obviously going to be as big as normal, but
it's going to be bigger.
It is the morning, 10 to 2. So we're going to have, the chief is going to have a bounce house there for the kids.
Okay.
There'll be some sort of little treats. I'm not sure that it will be ice cream. For the children, and then there'll be a lot of information tables for families to get information on how to keep your children safe. If there are anyone who needs some help with any type of an addiction, there will be representatives of different centers there for that.
And I really want to talk about that in a minute, because after we talk about the fun things, I want to get to the real reason for the day and why it's so important that we do this. You know, bouncy houses are a lot of fun, and of course it gets the kids out and gets the families involved. But the real message here is that there's an epidemic going on in our community. It's not everywhere else. It's here as well as everywhere else. And it's right now it's heroin, but it's really opioids, and it's, you know, on a larger scale, drugs in general are a huge problem. It's not getting any better, and the public safety personnel are challenged right now.
Exactly.
And I was talking to Chief O'Leary, who couldn't unfortunately be with us on this program. He sends his regards, I'm sure. And Ed was sharing with me about, in the night before I called him to be on the program, he shared that one of his officers had saved the life of a heroin overdose. I don't know if the victim is the right word, but we'll go with it.
Yes.
Of a user who overdosed on heroin, and because his officers now carry Narcan, that is a tool that they have, but it's a tool that is well needed, and obviously it was put to good use. So
it happens more frequently than you think,
and
even in our town.
Not only that, but it's not getting any better, and it seems as though the potency and the prevalence and the ease of access is creating some rather shocking incidents that I don't think people truly appreciate. And I know that when I had District Attorney Morrissey in here, he was sharing some statistics that were truly mind-boggling, and that was a year ago, and I'm sure it hasn't gotten any better. If we read the Boston Globe, even if we read the Foxborough Reporter, we now see the dreaded creep of drugs coming into our lives as our community slowly perhaps, but is forced to deal with this issue.
Yeah, we are forced because it's happening all around us, and Foxborough is not immune. And I give great credit to Chris Long, who saw the need for our officers to start carrying Narcan, and we really pushed the envelope with that, and because of that, several lives have been saved.
Well in time, and Chris Long, of course, is also a friend of ours from the Foxborough JCs, but I think more important is become a strong advocate for drug awareness and treatment and prevention causes. And so her voice is not alone, but it's certainly very strong when it comes to being in the forefront of our communities, whether we want to or not, facing the issue of drugs and opioid abuse.
Right.
So with that, and I know that everybody is anxiously awaiting Saturday, September 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Come out to the Public Safety Building. It's on Chestnut Street at the corner of Chestnut and Payson, and it's right off the Michael Coppola Circular there, Rotary, I guess we call it here in New England. It is going to be a wonderful day. If it's not a wonderful day, they've got a big garage. It'll still happen. The important thing is that this day also coincides with the Drug Take-Back Day. And this is an annual occurrence, and I don't know if folks are all aware of it, but those of us who have houses or bathrooms or cabinets in the bathrooms, we may have some expired medications or some prescription drugs that we no longer need. I know when I broke my arm, I was prescribed some medication, and then 6 or 7 years later, I found that medication because I didn't take the medication, I didn't like it, and yet there it was. I didn't know what to do with it. It's not a good idea to pour it down your sink because that goes into the water supply, and that's actually against med regulations. What you should do, and I'm hoping you will do, is on Saturday, September 26th, bring it to the Public Safety Building. They will have trained personnel there ready to take those medications, dispose of them with the Board of Health, and they will have representatives also there to take care of any sharps. I mean needles, insulin needles, any other types of sharp instruments that you may have that are medication related that you need to get rid of. It'll be a great opportunity for you to clean out your medicine cabinet, particularly if you have young kids, teenagers. You don't want that stuff laying around. It's not safe and it's not needed. I'm a pack rat. I don't throw things away, but medication really isn't something that you can ever use if it's not prescribed and properly taken on time for the symptoms that it was prescribed for. There's no reason to keep it in the cabinet. Just go get some more. Right. The stuff that's old, let's get rid of it on Saturday, September 26th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. up at the Public Safety Building. And as you're doing that, bring the kids. They'll have bouncy houses, things for them to do, fun things for the kids to do, but also some educational opportunities. I know that the chief, both chiefs, Chief Hatfield and Chief O'Leary, have planned for a day along with the JCs as a sponsoring organization for the Drug Take-Back Day, but also for, what are we going to call this?
I guess we could call
the
it
fun day at
the Foxborough fun
day, morning
instead of night. Yeah.
Well, you know what? It's a fun opportunity to address a serious topic, but do it in such a way that's not threatening. So let's talk about some of the vendors that are coming. I'll use the term vendors, presenters, people that are going to have information tables there. Can you share with us some of that information?
So Tam, which is the addict's mom, which Chris Long is the leader in Massachusetts.
Tam,
okay. Yes, the addict's mom. So Chris will be there with information to help if anybody wants information.
Okay.
Bainan, it's a treatment center. They will have information there too, in case the loved one needs immediate help. BMZ, which is the service that services for adults and children with development disabilities.
The Brockton area multi-services.
They're advocates for them, so they will have a table there. Learn to Cope, which is for families or friends of addicts, similar to Al-Anon for AAA.
Okay.
AA, sorry. The Foxborough Child Abuse Awareness group will be there with some information for folks. Hugs will be there. Mm-hmm. And the Human Services will have information too.
Really? So it sounds as though there's going to be a pretty robust set of resources.
Yes, yeah, and it's great because the kids can go into the bouncy house and the parents or adults obviously can go to the information tables and get some information and numbers if need be. So.
I think it's also a great opportunity to share that maybe it's not in your family, but maybe you know of a family or you have a family member removed who is going through the tribulations that drugs can bring. And it's not I don't want to make light of it in any way, because it is such a dreadful addiction when it comes to roost in your home, that information is the first step and the second step and the third step, because it is a frustrating and taxing ordeal to go through. And the more information that one has, the better prepared they are for the things when they're going to happen. And it's not something to go through alone. It sounds like there are resources there as far as support groups, as far as connecting and networking. And I think that's a key thing, to not feel as though you're alone, and not feel as though you're going through it alone, and to not feel as though there's nothing you can do, because it's going to be a hard road, but there is something that can be done. It's a long road, though.
It is.
But hopefully, if there's somebody out there listening who needs this type of information or wants to learn more, because it is in our community and it's not going away, and the only way to treat any problem, be it sexual abuse, drug abuse, is through education and information. And so come out to the Public Safety Building Saturday, September 26th, 2015, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring your families, bring the kids, bring your questions, and bring an open mind. It's a great opportunity to gain information and have a little fun doing it at the same time. Linda, thank you so much for the Foxborough JCs and for all the other organizations that are getting together to put this on and bring forward the Board of Health and the police department and the fire department all together. It's really it's a community event that is needed. And those are the best kind, when you can bring a little fun into it, but also pass along a serious message. Anything you'd like to share more?
Just come on out. Don't forget your prescription drugs and shoppies, and we'll see you then. Okay,
I'm here with Linda Walsh, of course, who is a longtime supporter of our community, JC's, and is right now leading the charge to bring the Foxborough Night Out to the Foxborough Morning of at the Drug Take Back and Awareness Day on September 26th at the Public Safety Building from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you want to learn more about this event and maybe get additional details, you can always log back into our website, www.fcatv, click on Video on Demand and then Videos, and find the Foxborough Central tab. Or you can call in directly at 774-266-3140. And as always, you can contact the Public Safety Building at 508-543-4343 on their non-emergency line. Do not call the emergency line. The non-emergency line, again, is 508-543-4343, and they'll be happy to give you information. On behalf of all the volunteers of Foxborough Cable Access, and you're a volunteer here as well on the board of directors, my friend Linda Walsh, and I hope you'll be our friend someday. Why don't you come on down to Foxborough Cable Access, check us out, maybe you can become a volunteer. This program is volunteer-led and brought to you by the wonderful volunteers, including Mike Stewart, Deb Storrs, Betty Travers behind the camera, Paul Beck behind the glass, Jillian Larson, who does such a wonderful job putting this all together, Lauren Batar, who graciously puts us on the air, and Michael Weber, who keeps this madhouse going in the right direction. I hope to see you here, and if not, I hope you'll see me again on Foxborough Central. Take care, folks.